Welcome to Pimpy's Investment Chat, where we keep investment talk simple. And here's your host, Pimpy.
What is going on out there, peeps? Man, there's a few things to talk about and a few things to look out for. I want to talk to you about NuCypher, but not right this second. We're going to get into that in just a moment here. But before we get started, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. Hey, folks, just a quick reminder that back in 2008 and 9, a lot of people lost all of their retirement savings in their 401ks and IRAs because they did not own gold and silver. Yeah, that's right. Gold and silver protects you from a market crash. So do yourself a favor, protect your retirement by purchasing gold and silver. You can go to moneymetals.com, reach out to them, and they will help you set yourself up to protect you and your family from having to start all over from scratch. If you're a first-time buyer and you spend more than $100, use promo code Pimpy, P-I-M-P-Y, and they will send along with your order a free half ounce of silver. So folks, do yourself a favor, head on over to moneymetals.com and protect you and your family from a market crash, as well as inflation. And now is a good time to buy gold and silver. You should be paying attention to what's going on in the news. There's all kinds of indicators why you should be into gold and silver. So when you do, head on over to Money Metals Exchange. The link is down below in the description. For those of you looking for my address, there it is right here. And you know we have this alternative website over there. You can find some new content that has been created. I hope you enjoy. Real quick follow up on Plan B. Where are we at? 63,000 for October. How far off is Plan B? Well, let's take a look. Well, we're at 61,000. Not bad. It was almost at 62. I think it was at 62, and they came down a little bit. What was happening is that people, to get to a certain point, and they start selling some of their cryptocurrencies and, you know, snagging up the profits real quick is what it is. Gold and silver doesn't change over the weekend, so there's nothing there to see. But if you look at the 52-week average, woo, man, it's looking good. Bitcoin, trying to beat that record. It's getting up there. Ethereum's getting up there as well. Actually was a little bit higher than this, but has since come down just a little. Solana, kicking butt. Polkadot, kicking butt. And XLM finally starting to move. Remember I was telling you about that? XLM finally moving. It's up 12.79%. So I started to watch this report yesterday about this. Was it yesterday or day before, about this coin, a new cryptocurrency called NuCypher. But it's interesting. I'm trying to learn a little bit more so I can explain to you better. But basically, what it does is protect people's personal information even on blockchain. Even if it's centralized, blockchain technology is the way I understand it. So I'll let you know. So about 2 days ago, I grabbed a bunch of it. And it was fairly cheap at the time. And then all of a sudden, it went on this crazy run. So here it was at 29 cents, and this was on Friday. And then all of a sudden, it shot up like a bat out of you-know-what. And it was up to $3.10 by late Friday. So for 29 cents to $3.10 is a huge jump. But then, like everything else when it comes to cryptocurrencies, people tend to cash in all the cryptocurrencies and try to grab the huge profits and then get out. I left mine in there, so it did fall all the way back down here to $1.12. It didn't fall all the way back down, but you know, from 29 cents to $1.12. Then it started to go up again and came down just a little bit, and now it's going up again. So you're talking about a 1,018% increase over the past year, but I think in the past week it's had something like a 324% increase. It's on Coinbase, by the way, you guys. So Coinbase has NuCypher. Once I get the total goods, because I'm reading it and I want to make sure I understand it properly. But if I'm understanding what the white papers are saying about what NuCypher does, there's no doubt in my mind that people should invest in it. It's because it's going to be a token that everybody goes to. If they have a way of encrypting your personal information or anything that you do on blockchain so that nobody can see it, they can add that kind of protection. This is something that people are going to look for. So get it while it's out there now. It's at $1.61. So as you guys know, XRP, if you want to buy it, it's over on Kucoin. That link is down below in the description. If you want to buy Dogecoin or even Shiba coin, who's finally starting to go back up because it started to go down yesterday. People grabbing profits, and now it's going up again. But XLM, I said this is getting ready to go up here pretty soon. No announcement on it yet. The announcement I'm waiting for has not shown up yet. And then also NuCypher is over there on Coinbase as well. So if you go down in the description, it says down there, buy cryptocurrencies here, and just follow the link. It'll take you to a user-friendly platform where you can buy these cryptocurrencies. So all these people trying to tell us that, hey, the economy is good, and hey, everything is peaches and cream. These stock markets are setting records. You should be impressed. Go put all your money in risky assets. 401ks are going up, IRAs are going up, and everybody's pretty happy, so they're scared about touching it and protecting them. Yeah, you keep falling for that trap. I kept recommending to you guys that you should put 25 to 30% of your holdings into gold and silver just to be on the safe side. But these guys blowing smoke up our butt trying to tell us that inflation's around, 12 or 5.4%? You know that is a lie. Look at even over in Sweden, they're hurting. Sweden's inflation experience may show where the U.S. and other developed markets are going. It says in one chart, there's a whole host of goods rocketing in price, as evident by the U.S. consumers price matching a 30-year high with 5.4% year-over-year growth. The RONA and the policy's response of the lockdown and government stimulus unleashed a massive switch in spending from services to goods. How much money do these people think the government's giving us? They only give you like a couple of grand, and then they do it every few months. And they think that people are like going out and it's whatever they can get off unemployment, whatever they can get off of welfare, whatever they can get off their fixed income. And then every now and then they'll throw you the crumbs from the stimulus package. So the economies are closed down in a lot of places here in the United States. There are some great governors out there that are opening up and totally voiding any kind of lockdowns, anything doing with the RONA mandates, and letting the people live their lives normally. Their economies are booming. Just keep that in mind. And it's because of them that we have any remnants of a decent looking economy without it collapsing. So inflation is everywhere. It's worldwide. Obviously, this event was planned out very well, and they're corralling everybody in the direction they want you to go to. Speaking of trouble, debt-stricken China Evergrand suffers huge blow as a $1.7 billion to sell its Hong Kong headquarters collapses. So these people are so desperate for money that they wanted to sell their building that they bought over there in Hong Kong for $1.7 billion, and the deal fell through. Basically, what they're trying to do is round up enough money to get through the next month is what they're trying to do. So selling their 26-story office in Hong Kong did not go the way they wanted to. So I'm curious to see if they're going to miss another payment. They've already missed one, is my understanding. But somebody did tell me that they did actually find a way to make that payment. But either way, if they're having to sell buildings and desperately beg, borrow, and steal just so you can try to make monthly payment, it's just a matter of time. They're going to collapse. And once they collapse, it's going to send shockwaves around the world. Why you should be in gold and silver. Now, I spoke about this fiasco yesterday, listening to yelling. What a freaking joke. For those of you who missed it, they're trying to explain why it is. You ready for this? Why it is they are tracking $600 transactions. Then they lied to the American people is what they're doing, about why they're doing it. Why does the government want to know how much is in your bank account? Because they're overstepping their boundaries. They're invading our privacy way too much, and they make up some BS lie why they're doing it. If you're concerned that the U.S. government wants to monitor your bank account, you're not alone. Plenty of lawmakers, consumers, and banking trading groups are pushing back against this idea, which was proposed in May by the Treasury Department as part of a budget request. The Treasury Department is not only pushing for spying on us. Remember, Yellen is a person who believes in communism. It says, but the government has its reason for such a proposal. Yeah, they want to spy on you. They want to spy and stick their nose in your business. Is why you need gold and silver. You need something outside of the system. They're trying to say that this thing mainly has to do with Biden's desire to crack down on unpaid taxes. That's their claim. It's just a piss poor excuse to spy. Mostly from wealthy Americans in big business. Yeah, that's why they need to spy on everybody to go after those billionaires. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Those unpaid taxes total $7 trillion. The New York Times reported. And the Biden administration wants the money to help fund social and economic programs. So do you actually believe he's going after the billionaires? You actually believe that? No. They're keeping track of everything we're doing. You're going to get audit out your butt. I guarantee it. Under the Treasury Department's proposal, banks would be required to note how much money goes into and out of a bank account. Why you need gold and silver, something outside of the system. With the exceptions of accounts that have less than $600 of inflow a year. How many citizens out there have less than $600 going in and out of their bank account per year? Or whose balances are below $600? Trust me, if they're doing everybody 600 higher, that means they're doing everybody, period. Now listen to this BS. No individual's transactions would be listed, and the Treasury officials insist such a plan would not lead to more audits of middle-income people. Yeah, it is. You're going to want to know where you got the money that you put into your bank and where it goes when it leaves if it's a large amount. But banks and their trade groups are not happy about this proposal, and they're showing their displeasure by running advertising and letter writing campaigns to raise awareness. This in turn has led to an avalanche of phone calls, emails, and complaints from concerned personal and small business account holders. We have heard a lot from our customers about their concerns about their privacy. So it says over here in a news report, Treasury officials are trying to calm fears about the real world impact on such a proposal would have on most Americans. Officials say fears or more audits are unfounded. No, they're not. And the Biden administration has promised not to increase the numbers of audits on Americans who earn less than $400,000 a year. So when they make that promise, yeah, okay, we believe you because you're so honest. Moreover, the IRS wouldn't learn about the individual spending habits, but just the money going in and out. Okay, really? I have to show you that reminder again. Here's our friend Turtle Man. Listen again to what he's saying. That's how I know that report is lying. Listen.
Our analysis on CBDC, in particular for the use of general use, we tend to establish the equivalence with cash, and there is a huge difference there. For example, in cash, we don't know, for example, who's using a $100 bill today. We don't know who is using a 1,000 peso bill today. A key difference with the CBDC is that central bank will have absolute control on the rules and regulations that will determine the use of that expression of.
He just told you that with cash, they have no way of knowing what you are doing with your money. With the CBDC, they're going to set the rules and procedures on how it can be used. You want the government having that much control? And he said, and they have the technology to do it. So this is BS. They want to turn this into a communist nation. They do, and they're working on it. And they want to be able to watch everything you do like they do in China. So when they say they don't want to keep track of your spending habits, yes, they do. That's the whole purpose of the CBDC. So they're starting now with your bank account. And is why you should buy gold and silver. It's none of their damn business. So what Janet Yellen and Obama administration are trying to convince us is they're monitoring the billionaires to see what they're doing because they feel like they've been cheating on their taxes. So here's my question. Why do you need to keep an eye on all transactions on everybody of $600 or more? Why don't you just go, look, I want you to keep track of every transactions of $600 or more on everybody who has a balance in their bank account of over X amount of $1 million, although I don't agree with that neither. You shouldn't be doing this at all. But I'm just saying, if they're truly trying to target these so-called tax-skipping billionaires, then why do they need to monitor everybody? Does that make sense? It's almost like saying, hey, if some weird disease broke out and, it affected a small percentage of people. I don't know. Let's say less than 0.5%, like 0.5%. But instead of just focusing on 0.5%, you lock down everybody. Does that make sense? It's the same thing. Why don't you go after the billionaires? What's it got to do with you monitoring everybody other than the sole purpose is to spy on everybody to see what they're doing? That's exactly what this is. And once again, why it is I say you need something outside of the system. Here's the news I was talking about when it came to XRP. As y'all know, that's a Ripple that runs that bad boy. Ripple joins forces with the Digital Pound Foundation. They made it perfectly clear. And you guys seen it in the interview with Brad Garlinghouse. What did he say? They want to make sure to accommodate the New World Order in every way, shape, or form. They said that. He said that out loud. So Ripple has joined forces to help develop the United Kingdom's central bank digital currency known as the Digital Pound. So the partnership with the Digital Pound Foundation, a nonprofit organization that aims to promote the introduction of the central bank digital currency, only increases the possibility of the CBDC in the United Kingdom. So when people go out there and go, this is a new world order, and people are like, no, it's not, then why is every country doing the same thing at the same time? They are pushing you in that direction. You don't have a choice. Why you need gold and silver outside of the system? So congrats to Ripple. They are going to join the Digital Pound Foundation and help develop the pound digital dollar. Since I don't like this whole CBDC and the fact that XRP is involved in it, is why I'll never buy XRP. I don't care if people are like, buy XRP, man. You wanted to go to the moon. Why? They are part of the very corrupt system, the exact same corrupt system that you guys jumped up and down about when you celebrated the idea of the cryptocurrency. What I'm trying to say is this. What Ripple is doing is evil. They're helping push the rest of the world into a central bank digital currency. So if you don't like the central bank digital currency, then you should not be supporting Ripple. That means don't purchase XRP. In case that wasn't enough, let's listen to what they're saying about this, by the way. Here we go. Crypto CEO, a viable central bank digital currency would have to be the law. So it goes on here to talk about how cryptocurrencies were developed for the sole purpose of conditioning people to accept the central bank digital currency. In so many words, not exactly, but you get it. But it goes on here to say that, hey, this is the chief executive officer of eCurrency, a firm at the forefront of creating technology to execute a central bank digital currency, part of the cryptocurrency's next frontier. Did you see this? Part of the cryptocurrency's next frontier. His company has been advising the U.S. Treasury and Federal Reserve for nearly a decade on the CBDC. So for the past 10 years, they've been working on the central bank digital currency. But here's the thing about the central bank digital currency that should bother you. If you come over here, you can see, well, by the way, Jamaica, congratulations. They have already launched their central bank digital currency. We come down here, there's a couple things I want to point out. Every nation or monetary union has a foundational law that defines what their currency is. So if you're thinking about a digital form of currency, then the law must accommodate its existence. It says, under his interpretation, if the U.S. were to pursue a digital dollar, then Congress would have to authorize the Treasury and the Federal Reserve to issue and distribute it first. Okay? According to this guy here, whose name I can't pronounce, the Treasury and the Fed have said a central bank digital currency would probably work in the same way paper money is created and issued. So he goes on to say this, under the current currency system, the Treasury prints the money and hands it over to the Fed, which circulates the currency in the economy, leaning on banks from Bank of America to local banks to get cash into the hands of the people. Likewise, with a digital dollar using the current system, the Treasury would need to securely mint it. It's a digital currency. And they're talking about securely mint it and then hand it off to the Fed to circulate. We're talking about a digital currency and they're acting like it's a physical dollar. Most likely through commercial banks and other financial players, it would then float to people through digital ATM or cards or smartphones. A CBDC likely wouldn't use blockchain or even a ledger. So how do you monitor it? How do we know that the government and all their divine wisdom that they've demonstrated over the past decades wouldn't just start creating a ton of it without letting the people know and using it to continue to build their nice little NWO. It wouldn't use blockchain or even a ledger, so there's no way to really audit it. Crypto people, am I wrong on this? Doesn't that bother you that the CBDC does not have or does not use blockchain technology or even use a ledger? Isn't that the whole purpose of it? This is how you monitor it? Am I wrong on that? You guys chime in down below because I'm curious. So, we don't want the CBDC. You got to do everything you can to fight it. And how do you fight it? By not using it like they're doing in China. Yeah, they're struggling with the digital yuan. The people are refusing to use it. Now they're going to try to force you into it and saying, hey, they're going to try bribing you. Hey, we're going to give you this universal basic income. Yeah, see? And then you take it and you don't fight it. They will outlaw gold and silver, most likely. That doesn't mean you have to comply. I want something out of the system. Because once they trap you into this new system, there's no getting out. So they're going to make every excuse in the world. They're going to stop giving cash. They're going to order banks and stores and retail places not to accept or use cash again. They have to be 100% digital. Remember, we already went through a trial run in 2020. Remember when you went to the store and they were like, no cash because there's no cash. You have to use your ATM card. Remember that? It was just a test run. So make sure you got something outside of the system. Anyways, hit the thumbs up button. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel. And I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later. I'm out.